Hi, thanks for joining me. It's Michelle Last here, and this is the April Technique class using the Your Perfect Day stamp set. We're going to be making this card in this video, and I just wanted to show you the versatility of what you would think is a wedding set and how you could make a really pretty birthday card. So what you've got is you've got your own pack, and you've got some bits and bobs in the front here. This small piece is to cut the birthday greeting. The other pieces, just check, but I want you to check that they nest on top of one another perfectly like that. Now can you see that's a bit of a wider border there? It doesn't look quite right. So turn it, because it isn't a square, it's a rectangle, until you're happy with how it nests on top of one another. So that would be how that sticks together. So let's do, first of all, using the early espresso ink, let's do the birthday greeting. So I've chosen the birthday sentiment out of the Crazy About You stamp set. And you could choose any sentiment, but I've got that to go with the happy cutout. And if you just stamp the birthday centrally on your bit of card, fairly near the bottom, like that, what you then can do is use your decorative label punch, which looks like this, and just slide it into the punch and just line it up so as it's central, and just punch out the part of it which will stick to the bottom of the card, okay? Which leaves that nice little shape there, but you won't need that. So I'm going to set that aside for a second, and what I'm going to do is stamp the wreath background. Can you see the wreath? And what I've done is I've used the early espresso ink pad and the wreath stamp, which I've cleaned quickly, but I haven't taken off the block from the previous card I've made. And I'm just going to ink it up. I'm going to remove the inner pieces, hold it flat. I might turn that over actually. Yeah, hold it flat because you don't want it to bounce back up as you stamp. And I'm just going to randomly stamp over the front of my card. Just like so. Okay, don't know if you can see that there. Then I'm going to get the tiny little flower out of the same stamp set and just stamp that roughly in the middle of the circles of the wreaths. You can stamp it all over, you can do wherever. I'm going to do a little random one there. So wherever there's any gaps you can stamp the little flower. Then what you're going to do is you're going to get your 3 layers of card, and they're going to grab the crumb cake piece and you're going to stamp the wreath on there, okay? So let's do that. Let's grab our crumb cake piece, put these to one side, grab our crumb cake piece and stamp the wreath in the middle of our crumb cake piece of card. And then inside the stamp set you get this small little leaf stem, and all you're going to do is ink it up, and in the same direction as the leaves are going I'm going to start adding some extra twigs going around the wreath. Can you see that? Just makes it look a bit more detailed and a bit more foliage on the wreath than you had previously. So it feels like I'm going the wrong way, but I'm going with it. So just add it until you're happy, until you feel that there's enough detail around the outside of your wreath. I'm going to add a little bit more just here, like that. Okay, so we just added a bit more detail on our wreath, and we're going to go back to our 2 square pieces, and we've got this piece here. And what I want you to do before you glue your pieces together, I want you to find your small little punch, the little flower punch. I want you to push it all the way in, and I want you to punch out 5 of these. But what I don't want you to do is go right close to the edge. So I want you to punch them out from what will be the centre of the card. And then what happens is when you stick that on top, you'll never know that you took your pieces from there. So let's do that now. Let's stick that on top. Remember what I said about it not being a square. It is a rectangle. So you may find that You want an even gap all the way around, and if you haven't got an even gap all the way around, it looks a little bit odd or on one side, turn it 90 degrees until you're happy. There we go, and then I'm going to stick this on. Like that. Then I'm going to grab my glue dots. What I should do is grab my mouse mat and just make my flowers be a little bit poke the petals out slightly. So just press it hard in the middle. I'm using a paintbrush here. You can use whatever you've got that works for you. So I'm going to go around and find a glue dot, stick it to the bottom, just stick it on my wreath. Excuse my coughing, I've got this horrible virus back again. It's much gentler than the last time. Still coughing and a bit bunged up, but it's on its way because it's not welcome. And then we're going to do one over here, and then the last one over here somewhere. Or should we go there? There. Okay. Now we can stick that to the front of our card. Now I haven't raised this up. My feeling was I wanted to put dimensionals on the back and raise it up. But when you stick the happy over the top, you'll find that it's not a good idea to do that. Because, now I don't know if you saw, I was twisting there. I know that when I stick my H down, it's going to overlap. So I was trying to stick it where I knew that there was a corner that didn't have any flowers on it. You could, of course, can pull the flowers off and change and move them. It might be good to just lay it down and check your positioning first. And I'm going to stick my birthday down. So let's get that stuck to my card front. I'm just using the edge to line up, like so. And then in your pack you do have a happy cut out for you. She says. Here we go. So I've cut a happy out for you, in case you didn't own the die. So just pop out any of the extra pieces and make sure that the wax paper I've used, can you see here, isn't still attached. So peel off if there's any wax paper still attached. And when I'm just going to practice where it's going to go, I'm going to stick it about there. Perfect. So I'm going to use my adhesive sheets, which just look like a sheet of paper. They don't like anything fancy. They do have a score line, so you can peel it back. And when you peel it back, there's little dots of glue on the back sheet. So what you do is you get your cutout, put it down with the correct way facing up. Put your sheet back down on the top and then give it a good press to get glue on the back of the cutout only. Then lift your sheet back up. You may need a pokey tool or something just to get underneath, and then you should be able to peel back your die cut or your shape, whatever it is you've cut. Now I'm just tentatively going to stick it down, making sure that it doesn't overlap the edge of the card. Like so. And then when I'm happy with it, now I'm going to go down and it will stick the whole word down. There's none of this just sticking parts of the word down, which is lovely. It's not going anywhere. It's quite forgiving. You can pick it back up and peel it back off if you need to. And now all that is left to do is to add some sparkle. This time I'm going to use some rhinestones. And I'm just going to add a bit of bling. Oh, where did that go? It came back with me. doesn't look like I've actually made the petals on my flowers curve up at all, so they might just need reminding to do that. I can do it with my fingers afterwards because the glue dot's holding them down firmly, so it should be fine. And so there's your happy birthday greeting, and then you just need to stick down the inside pieces, matte and layer the crumb cake in very vanilla, and that gets stuck on the inside. Now I haven't done a sentiment or echoed the design on the inside. You can, it's completely up to you, but I just went with the standard one. So I really hope you enjoyed making it. It's a nice quick fun card, and so nice to see you can make a birthday card out of what you would think is a wedding set. So I really hope you enjoyed my April class, my technique class, and I really hope to welcome you back in May. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.